Welcome back, folks. We got another skate hacks video for y'all today. Get your polo hats and your high water pants ready. Just kidding, but today we're going over Wallies, a very fun trick to do. I really enjoy doing this trick on any wall I can find, any little obstacle that you could possibly do it on. It's a very easy trick, but it may seem difficult to those who have never ridden their skateboard on any type of wall or anything other than the ground. So it seems a little bit difficult at first, but it's actually quite easy. So I just wanted to share a few tips on how to Wallie. So most people do Wallies backside, if you know what I mean. You want to just sort of have your back facing the majority of the wall and just kind of go off the corner. You want to go off the corner and in front of you. You could do a frontside Wallie. I don't really see those. They're very difficult, but most of the time you're going to be going backside to where you can actually see where you're going to land. So you want to find any object that you can. You can do it off the corner of a building, any type of wall. It doesn't have to be a perfectly straight up wall. It can be kind of like these little obstacles here. You can see it's not going straight up 90 degrees, but it's kind of like tilted a little, and that makes it a little bit easier too. So it helps to know how to do a pole jam before you do Wallies. You don't have to, but it's a very similar concept between doing pole jams and Wallies. So doing a Wallie, you want to approach the object that you're going to Wallie at a tiny angle. If you want to do more of an angle, just to be safe, if you feel more comfortable doing that, go ahead. But you want to approach at an angle. It depends on what you're doing it on, though, because you could do a Wallie going straight up and over a small little wall. In that case, you don't have to go at any angle, but in this case, you're kind of going off the corner, so you want to go at a little bit of an angle. And so the second concept here is to jam your board up the wall. Now, this is very hard for some people to understand, to get the hang of, but I want you to go up to a wall and see if you can do this. Just jam it up the wall and to where the board's just standing up and to where it's kind of leaning against the wall and where you can just grab it and try it all over again. So just try this concept, just jam it up the wall and see if you can get it up there. If you're comfortable doing this while your feet are on the board, like keeping your feet on the board and jamming it up the wall like that, then I think you should be ready to do a Wallie. If you're having trouble with this, one of the biggest things about a Wallie is staying light on your feet. You don't want to be so heavy and forceful on your feet because it's going to be hard to jam the board up the wall. So if you have if you're more light-footed, then it's going to be easier to get that board up the wall versus having so much weight on the board. It's going to be difficult to jam it up the wall and keep your feet on it. So the best way that I can describe this is by, let's say, you know how when you're skating with someone who may be inexperienced or not very well-rounded in skateboarding, let's say they're just starting to skate and they go over a big annoying crack or something in the ground. They're most likely going to fall over it, right? Because they're kind of heavy on the board, they're a little bit uncomfortable, so they might just stop right in the middle of the crack and just fly forward. But the more experienced person, let's say the more experienced person who's been skating for a while, more aware of their surroundings, sees the big crack, and they just roll right over it. So what's the difference between these two people that are both trying to roll over the big crack is that the second person is more light on their feet. They don't really hop off the board, but they kind of release their weight from the board a little bit and kind of lift up. They lift up a little bit and they release their weight and they're able to get over that big crack. So this is something that you may do every single day when you're cruising down the sidewalk, but for the less experienced person, they may not understand this concept yet, and so they get stuck in the crack and they fall. So this is very similar to the Wallie concept. You want to be light on your feet, right? Because you don't want to be so heavy trying to go up the wall. You're going to get stuck and fly forward or whatever. You want to kind of spring up and make sure that you can do that. So before you try the Wallie, like I said, try jamming your board up the wall, and this should really help with the Wallie. So another issue with a Wallie is that maybe you can jam your board up the wall, but you're having trouble committing with it. So you might just go ahead and go right up the wall, but you don't stay on the board after that. So this just takes practice. Of course, you want to be light on your feet. However, you just want to commit. You want to stay on the board and make sure that whatever direction you're going in with the board, that you go ahead and keep your body weight over it as well. So this is going to help you stay on the board for the Wallie. And that's pretty much it. Those are my tips on Wallies. Make sure you stay light on your feet. Come at a small angle if you need to, unless you're going straight up and over. That's pretty much it. Wallies are a very fun trick. Those are my tips on wallies. Comment down below any future suggestions for skate hacks videos. As always, thank you guys for watching. See you next time.